big announcements, specials online available, and tours to announce. Dave, what are some of these details?
We are touring around Australia and New Zealand for the first ever time to celebrate our 10th anniversary.
We're 10, baby.
We're 10, and we are hitting up these places between now and the start of 2026. We are hitting up Hobart, Melbourne, Canberra, Sydney, Adelaide, Perth, Auckland, Wellington, and Brisbane, all with live Do Go On shows on sale now at dogoonpod.com.
So pumped. Some of these cities we're getting to the first time ever, including Canberra and Hobart and Wellington and Auckland. Mm-hmm. And we haven't been to Perth and Adelaide in quite some time, so really pumped for that. I'm also doing a Who Knew It tour before that. Starting as of now, going to Brisbane, Sydney, Newcastle, Adelaide and Hobart, then over to the UK to Edinburgh, Cambridge, Birmingham, Manchester, Swansea and London. And also, Dave, you and I, we've got our specials out available now on Humdinger.
That's right. If you're not able to see us in the flesh, you can watch us online for free at any time at youtube.com/Humdinger Studios, I believe is the address. But just type in Humdinger Studios or my name or Matt Stewart's name, and our specials, our stand-up specials are there right now.
And the one I'm touring, I should say, is a new show compared to that. So you can watch it and then come see me. And that's a whole other hour.
Wow.
What the heck?
That's a lot of hours.
What's going on here?
It's that time of year again, back to school season, and Instacart knows that the only thing harder than getting back into the swing of things is getting all the back-to-school supplies, snacks, and essentials you need. So here's your reminder to make your life a little easier this season. Shop favorites from Staples, Best Buy, and Costco, all delivered through Instacart, so that you can get some time back and do whatever it is that you need to get your life back on track. Instacart, we're here.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnicky, and as always, I'm here with Jess Perkins.
Hi, Dave. You're my best friend.
Hello. You're my best friend too. You know what? I've got two best friends this week.
What?
And the second one is Seren Jayamana.
Hello. Hi, David. You're also my best friend.
Thank you.
Jess.
Hello, Seren.
What a beautiful, almost triangle of love we've got going on here.
By the end, Seren and I will be very much in love. No, we're stoked to have you back. You're, always a fan favourite here.
Oh.
In terms of us, we're a fan of you.
My best friends.
Yeah, I don't know what our listeners think. And I don't want to know.
Oh, keep it to yourselves,
Keep it to yourselves.
Yeah.
Shut up. Shut your trap. You got thoughts? Keep them.
You can tell me. You can message me privately.
If they're positive.
True.
If they're negative, shut up.
Yeah.
Please keep that to yourself.
But if you feel positively about me, keep that to yourself. I don't want to know about it.
You don't want to know?
No.
Okay.
Too much pressure.
Oh, okay. You have to live up to being
Exactly.
good.
I don't
to being
want that.
liked.
I don't want that. Don't expect you to see me on the street that, like, we're going to have a nice time. It's probably going to be weird and a bit awkward, and you'll be like, oh, she's kind of rude. Yeah,
it's too much pressure for them as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, here we are.
Anyway, here we all are. Should I explain how the show works for anyone who may have forgotten?
We'll just say as well that Matt's fine.
Matt's fine. Seren, you'll agree that Matt's fine?
Yeah.
There you go.
Great.
All
Perfect.
reports.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
All reports. I mean, I haven't had any reports, but if there was one, it would be fine.
No news is good news.
That's what we've always said.
We haven't heard from him. We can only assume. Fine.
No replies in the group chat for weeks? Fine.
I've not done anything to him
No,
just to be here.
me either.
It was so weird that you didn't even know that Matt wasn't going to be here. You just messaged us saying, hey, if Matt's not there this week, I'll be there. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, actually, he's not writing back, so
So that would be
that'd
great.
be
Yeah.
But now I think about it, it's a little suspicious that you knew. Anyway, great to have you in. Great to have you in. Now, what we do here is we take it in turns to report on a topic which is often suggested to us by one of the listeners. Go away, do a bit of research, bring it back, and basically report on what we found. Jess, it is your turn to report on a topic this week.
Yes.
Now, Seren and I, we both don't know what the topic's going to be, so we always start with a question to get us onto the topic.
I think you're going to like this question.
Okay.
My question is, in season 11, episode 11 of The Simpsons, Bart pulls a bucket off Homer's head, and that leads to a career as a what?
Is that a chiropractor? Oh, no, that's the bin. You remember that? They have that magic bin. He falls onto the trash can.
Oh, yeah,
That's right. No, this is a bucket off his head. After they've, is it after? But anyway, they come across a tent where something's happening, a big sort of show.
A religious healer.
Yes, he becomes a faith healer. And because there's no way you would have heard of today's topic, which is a evangelist and healer by the name of Aimee Semple McPherson.
No, you're correct. I
Yeah.
haven't. Yeah.
No.
Well, it's only been suggested by a couple of people, Chris from South Wales and Bridget from Sydney. And I suspect, although I didn't check exactly when they made these suggestions, but a book came out in April of this year, 2025, and a couple of news articles were written about it, and it sort of like brought this story a bit more, to the forefront.
Okay, yeah.
So I suspect that might be where they've heard about her. But I'll give you a little bit of background, and let's just get stuck in. It's exciting.
Yeah,
Would love to.
Had you come across the story, can I ask? Or did you,
No.
you found it in our
Found it in the
suggestion?
hat.
Love that. Thanks for everyone who suggests topics.
It's a story that resonates with people in South Wales and New South Wales.
Exactly.
So it must be.
It's
Crossing borders.
yeah,
Old and new.
and
Love
it
both.
is based in the US. So
There you go.
interesting.
Something for everyone.
Speaking of triangles of love.
I know. But it starts in Canada. So Aimee was born. She was born Aimee Elizabeth Kennedy in 1890 in Salford, Ontario, in Canada, to James and Mildred Kennedy. Her father was a Methodist. Her mother worked in the Salvation Army soup kitchens. So Aimee grew up with a lot of early exposure to religion. As a teen, though, she started to stray from her mother's teachings. Teen Aimee read novels and went to movies and dances.
I'm sorry, what?
These were not activities that the Salvation Army and the Methodists approved of,
I
okay?
didn't know that we were talking about a rebel without a cause
Yeah.
here.
This was huge acts of rebellion.
Novels.
She's reading novels,
But movies as well, Dave.
Oh my god, movies.
movies, and dances.
Yeah.
What the heck?
A boy might have seen her ankle.
What's the Devil's Triangle?
Ridiculous. So, from Wikipedia, in high school, she was taught the theory of evolution. She began to ask questions about faith and science, but was unsatisfied with the answers.
Never ask questions.
Don't ask questions.
That leads to trouble.
Yeah.
Okay. She wrote
What do you
to
think faith is?
yeah.
Yeah, it's not asking questions. Even when you
faith.
probably should.
She wrote to a Canadian newspaper questioning the taxpayer-funded teaching of evolution. This was her first exposure to fame, as people nationwide responded to her letter and the beginning of a lifelong anti-evolution crusade, which I find kind of funny that, like, she's taught about it in school, she questions it a little bit, she questions it sort of publicly and people really respond to that. So then she's like, great, I don't believe in evolution then. It's like, no, but you haven't, you're still not questioning it. You've just really liked the attention of people agreeing with you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a great way to make your life choices.
She's rallying against evolution, trying to get de-evolution going, like trying to get us to go back into the oceans and slither around.
I will not go back in the ocean. I'm far too seasick for that. And I don't like it being wet. It's cold. I don't want to. So while attending a revival meeting in 1907, McPherson met Robert James Semple, a Pentecostal missionary from Ireland. At the meeting, she became enraptured by Semple and his message. After a short courtship, they were married in August 1908 at a Salvation Army ceremony. She dedicated her life to Jesus and converted to Pentecostalism. Semple supported them as a foundry worker and preached at the local Pentecostal mission. So even preaching, not full-time gig. You got to work at the foundry as well.
Yeah. You got to do open mic preaching.
Yeah, it's sort of you work your way up.
Climb.
It's a tricky ladder, but it's all about who you know. Jesus. So the couple.
Do you know him?
Do you know him? Do you know Jesus?
I actually don't. No, well, you're going to really struggle in this industry.
You're going to need Jesus to give you a good word. The good word.
If only you could put in the good word.
I'm really happy I got a laugh out of Seren. He's not a difficult laugh, but it just felt really good.
I feel like I've been laughing all along. But I'm glad.
Just let me have it.
Another one. Oh my gosh.
I'm crushing.
She really
Matt
opened
never
him up.
laughs. He just nods and stares at me.
What? Matt never laughs and then he gets them all out in one go, like every 2 or 3 years. He just laughs for
just-
4 minutes straight.
Yeah, we just sit and wait.
He nearly dies.
It's beautiful. I wish he'd just spread it out a little bit.
Honestly, just have a 2-second laugh here, 2-second laugh there, Matt.
Just,
It's good for the soul.
You don't have to bottle them up. So the couple moved to Chicago and they joined William Durham's Full Gospel Assembly, where Aimee was taught the practice of interpretation of tongues. You know when people are speaking tongues?
Yeah.
She can understand tongues.
Oh, wow. Is there a Duolingo for that?
Must be. Back then, yes.
Yeah, I've heard of speaking tongues, but I've never known of a tongue whisperer.
Well, what's the point of speaking tongues if nobody's understanding you? Like, you know,
I thought that was the point.
the preacher's got to know what's going on,
Yeah, true. Okay.
I guess.
So you can be taught in that.
Yeah, apparently so.
Yeah, right.
Yes. And she became quite good at it, apparently. So Aimee and Robert, they went to China in 1910 on an evangelistic tour. Unfortunately, they both contracted malaria, and Robert also contracted dysentery, and he died while in Hong Kong.
Oh, wow.
Aimee, who was about 8 months pregnant, luckily recovered from malaria and gave birth to the couple's baby daughter a mere 29 days after Robert's death. So sad. In her husband's honour, she named the baby Roberta.
Oh.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
You could have Serena if you
If I die and my partner has to name it. Yeah,
yeah.
a baby in my honour.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's a nice
That is
touch.
beautiful.
Yeah.
She considered staying in China to continue their evangelical work.
Oh, wow. Of course, she's given birth in Hong Kong.
Yeah. And, you know, because that's why she and Robert had gone there.
Has she learnt how to speak tongues, or she's just learnt Mandarin?
And back then, they're like, speaking tongues, it's
Oh
just
my
a
God.
different language.
Mate up, you've got to be sort of out of your mind to speak this
I
language.
don't think they knew about other languages back then. So
Yeah, they might
maybe
have been,
Latin,
yeah.
and that was it. Yeah.
You meet a Chinese person, you think that they're speaking in tongues all the time.
Wow.
This person's really connected to God.
We got to get this person to
They're
a
like
preacher ASAP.
asking for directions.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow. This is terrifying.
Very tonal.
Very, very tonal.
Very tonal.
I've been thinking that I think Australian is tonal.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was thinking about the phrase good on ya, and I think that can mean so many different things depending on
Yeah.
the tone. Because it can quite literally just mean like good for you. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, good on ya. Or it can mean good on ya. You know what I mean? Very different.
Yeah.
Oh, good on you.
Yeah.
I don't
Or
know what that means.
It can be
but
quite aggressive too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So I think Australian is a tonal language. That's a theory I'm working on.
Australian is a tonal language. I love that.
So anyway, she's thinking about staying in China, but her mum, Mildred, sent her the money for a return ticket to the US. So she decided to go home. Once back in the US, her mum got her a job at the Salvation Army, and while in New York, she met an accountant named Harold Stewart McPherson. They married in 1912 and moved to Rhode Island and had a son named Rolf. It's a great name.
Didn't want to.
I said it weird just
Yeah.
then. I went too hard on Rolf.
Yeah, like
really,
a sort of.
I vomited that
You're
word.
vomiting his name.
Sorry, Rolf. That's better.
You gave it a ruffle
Yeah.
kind of touch.
They named their son Rolf.
Yeah.
It's just a name. It's just
But
his
so
name.
she didn't want to name her son in honour of him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the first husband got the honour.
He got Roberta.
Well, because he died.
Yeah, that she said to her
Oh.
second
You gotta
husband,
die.
you
Yeah,
have
true.
to die, or I don't really care.
Or
Or
we
it's
can-
Rolf.
We can
Or
just
it's
give him
Rolf.
another name. His name's Rolf.
I did name him after you. You disgust me.
Rolf. And that's how I will be saying our son's name.
Rolf. It does sound like a
Roberta.
a wretch.
Rolf.
Yeah, Rolf.
Dinner's
get in
ready.
here. Yeah, Roberta gets the beautiful Roberta.
Roberta. Rolf. Dinner's ready. This is my son, Rolf. Such an honour. So things are pretty good, but Aimee felt like she'd sort of denied her calling to go preach. It was an emotionally distressing time for her. It culminated in her falling quite ill with appendicitis in 1914, from Wikipedia. She later said that after a failed operation, she heard a voice asking her to go preach. After accepting the voice's challenge, she said she could turn over in bed without pain. So the voice says she'd go preach, and she goes, okay,
I
and then no
accept.
pain.
Yeah.
That's got to mean something.
Not much of a challenge.
Hey,
Okay.
would you mind? And it says asking her to go preach. Hey, if you've got, do you
Could
reckon,
you-
would you be
yeah.
up for that?
Yeah.
No pressure.
No
All
pressure.
good if not. And she said, no, I could probably do that. No pain.
No pain. Wow.
You're still probably going to get it looked at, though.
A
Appendicitis.
failed operation. Yeah, you should probably be monitored.
Yeah.
But anyway, so, but, you know, and she obviously did so because that was in 1914. In 1915, her husband returned home and discovered that she'd left him and taken the children. A few weeks later, he received a note inviting him to join her in her evangelical work.
Oh.
So she really took this voice and the calling very seriously. Apparently, Harold did follow her, but with the intention of bringing her home.
Oh, okay.
You know, he was like, yeah, I'll come. This is ridiculous. Let's go. But then he saw her preaching and he changed his tune.
Oh, wow.
She's that good.
He fell in love all over again.
Yeah, she was glowing. Gary Christ wrote in his book The Mirage Factory that Harold joined Aimee, setting up tents for revival meetings and preachings. The couple even sold their house and lived out of their gospel car. Despite his gospel car's pretty funny.
Is that just a regular car they've called the gospel car?
It used
Go
to
get the gospel car.
I mean, I googled it because I was like, "What the fuck is a gospel car?" And it's like it's a car, and they've written gospel car on the side of it. I think it would sort of be similar to having like a tour bus now, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because
It's
I
not
was
quite-
picturing like a Pope mobile.
Yeah,
Glass
yeah.
windows, only 2 seats.
The kids are running out back.
More of a buggy than a
Yeah. I think this is a car, and I suppose for families living out of
Okay.
it, it's got a bit of
That makes
space,
sense. Makes more sense. Yeah.
but it's slightly bigger than a Pope mobile.
Well,
Maybe
how
two
good a
Pope
preacher
mobiles.
is she that she can convince her family to live in this buggy?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Imagine seeing someone so good you go, well, you're so good, we're going to sell everything.
Let's sell the house.
Like, she'd have to be very good.
Yes, yeah.
Did you, the author of that book, was it Gary Christ?
Gary Christ?
It's not Gary Cross.
Yeah.
It's
How can you tell? Is that tonal
It's-
between Christ and Christ?
it's Krist.
Oh, I also thought, wow, this guy's really destined to write this book. Gary Christ.
Or I've never seen the word Christ written down. I'm like,
Jesus,
well,
what are you
Christ,
talking about?
I think.
Jesus Christ.
Christ?
Jesus Christ.
We call it Christmas.
Oh, Jesus
Yeah. Does that
Christ.
make sense?
Jesus Christ.
See, it's tonal.
Yeah, and that's not blasphemous.
No.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus
No,
Christ
you
is
can
fine.
get
That's a different
it's a
guy.
little loophole.
I'm going to start saying Gary Christ.
Gary H. Christ.
Oh, Gary Christ, who farted? Oh, Gary Christ, that's a bit blue. Anyway, so despite his initial enthusiasm, Harold began leaving the crusade for long periods of time in the late 1910s. Initially, he was sort of attempting to launch his own career as a travelling evangelist, which I don't think was going as well for him. So
That would be hard.
that would be brutal. Yeah, imagine like your spouse being better at you than something. Ugh, no thanks. Absolutely not. So,
Marvelous Miss Maisel right here.
oh, yeah. No wonder they got divorced. Eventually, he returned to Rhode Island and his normal accounting job, and the couple divorced in 1921.
Oh, he went back to accounting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's everyone's a nightmare. Or it might just be mine.
I
But
think it is,
Think
yeah.
about it daily. The long walk back to
It's-
KPMG.
It's not something I think about,
no.
having never been or studied to be an accountant.
yeah, I think, oh my God.
Yeah.
What if all this goes tits up and I have to be an accountant again?
Yeah.
Or for the first time.
I go,
I've got to retrain.
gee whiz, what if I'd have to go be a journalist? Because that's what I studied, but it's been so long I don't think I know how to do it.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. So Aimee's career as an evangelist was beginning to take off, and she obviously had something about her that drew people in. I mean, her husband was against it until he saw her preaching, and then even he had a crack at preaching, so she's obviously pretty good. So she's a charismatic leader for sure, and I am not leading to a cult story. As I wrote charismatic leader, I was like, oh no, they're
Yeah,
gonna,
that's where I thought this was
they're
going.
gonna think cult. It's
Yeah.
not. We're not going there.
Okay.
Well,
The cult of Gary Christ.
Gary Chris. Gary Chris. She was really inspired by evangelist and faith healer Maria Woodworth Etta, who had broken the glass ceiling for popular female preachers, drawing crowds of thousands, and her style influenced the Pentecostal movement. In 1916, Aimee embarked on a tour of the southern United States, and again in 1918, this time with her mother Mildred. Standing on the back seat of their convertible, McPherson preached sermons over a megaphone. Very Pope Mobile-like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A really pivotal moment in her career was a string of services that she held in Baltimore at the Lyric Opera House, where her faith-healing demonstrations attracted large crowds whose...
So was it the Baltimore Opera House or the Baltimore Opera House car park? She's standing on the bumper of her car. She's played all the prestigious car parks. Sydney Opera House.
No, she's actually
Wembley.
in the Lyric Opera House.
Okay, she's made the big time.
She's made the big time. And the crowds, this is a quote, their religious ecstasy were barely kept under control. Like it was a frenzy. The other pivotal move in her career came in 1918 when she and her daughter both became sick with the Spanish flu. Aimee's case wasn't too bad, but Roberta was seriously ill. And according to McPherson, while praying over her daughter, she experienced a vision in which God told her he would give her a home in California.
So far, a lot of her visions or interactions with the higher power are just in some sort of sick delirium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's crazy, this story, at the turn of the century, how much of it is just like, oh, by the way, then she also got sick again.
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Yeah, with something awful. Something really bad.
Yeah, with something at that time life-threatening.
She's been through it.
Yeah. So God says, you'll be given a home in California. She's like, great. So in October,
That's pretty good.
she and the family drove from New York to LA over 2 months, with McPherson preaching revivals along the way. From Wikipedia again, McPherson's first revival in Los Angeles was held at Victoria Hall, a 1,000-seat auditorium downtown. She soon reached capacity there and had to relocate to the 3,500-capacity Temple Auditorium, where people waited for hours to enter the crowded venue.
Wow.
Afterwards, attendees of her meetings built a home for her family.
Oh, my God.
That's
In California.
Exactly. You were given a home. At this time, Los Angeles was a popular vacation destination. Rather than touring the United States, McPherson chose to stay in LA, drawing audiences from both tourists and the city's burgeoning population.
Wow. I mean, obviously that's very nice that they built her a home, but I'd love, like, a free home is a free home, but would you, like our podcast listeners, if they banded together to build you a house, would you want that house? It's not going to be the best house.
Why not? You don't think we have any architects
Yeah,
in
you
there?
might have some architects.
Yeah, okay. You want the people that know what they're doing.
I want somebody who can, like, properly make a plan,
Yeah,
and then I'll give that plan to my brother.
So you get a bit of say. Yeah,
And he
who's the
can-
builder?
He's
Yeah,
a builder.
You
He
probably
can
don't
build
have
it.
any builders listening. They're listening to Triple M. But you,
Yeah. I don't think. Yeah, I
you
don't
might have
think.
a few architects.
I can you imagine a work site? 7
Listening to-
a.m.
yeah.
This podcast blaring. The neighbors. It's just me going. And then this happened. And then we make some fucking poop
Gary
joke and we
Christ.
laugh. Yeah. Oh, horrific. I don't think my brother's ever listened to a single episode.
Because we need him on the team. We really need it. We need someone who knows what they're doing.
But here's the thing. The brand that I have very carefully created and fostered for myself with our listeners is one of a bit of a bitch. So I think I could easily be like, no, fix that. Hate that. Next.
This is shit.
Yeah. Who designed this bathroom?
Need a
Fuck
bigger
off.
window. Get out.
You know? Where's my dog's room? Start again. So that's obviously not what I'm like in real life. Seren can attest to that. I'm a delight.
You're a delight. But I am,
Delightful.
to take it back to The Simpsons, it does feel like when everyone bands together to build Ned Flanders' house.
Yes.
And
it's terrible.
It's terrible. And then it just falls down. I just worry that's going to happen to this lady.
Yeah.
But back then, 100 years ago, people did just build their own house, didn't they?
And I'm not sure if they
Yeah.
came together and just built it. Well, yeah, true. Maybe they did. It's a one-off line, which is so interesting.
A lot of people just have like, yeah, my granddad built this house. You're like, how?
How? I actually,
He's a teacher.
genuinely,
How do you do that?
my grandfather did build a house, like the holiday house we had for many, many years.
And was your granddad a carpenter?
He was
or
an
a
electrician.
Close enough.
So the
lights worked.
PowerPoints were very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were winging it a little bit.
Yeah, but structurally.
So
The balcony did fall down multiple
it was
times.
fine.
It's all tied together with cable.
My dad helped. He was a salesman. So, you know, it's fine. Yeah, you're right. I wonder how. I'm not entirely sure exactly. I assumed maybe like a fundraising type thing.
Oh,
They
I thought
raised
it was
some
literally
money,
like,
but it could
you got
well have
3,500 people in the room. She goes, hey, I've got a vacant block down the street. Get to work, everyone.
Yeah, it could have been that. Who knows? So her early popularity came largely because of her faith-healing presentations. According to Mildred Kennedy, the crowds at the revivals were easily twice as large as McPherson reported in her letters. So she's sort of like, oh, yeah, maybe a few thousand people. She's like, double it!
Wow.
Whoa. She's the reverse Trump.
And and
No one was there. I spoke for hours. No one came.
No, 3 people came, but they were very nice. And my mum's like, there was easily 6 there. And I'm very proud. She said, and the healings were not optimistic exaggerations. Kennedy said she witnessed visible cancers disappear, the deaf hear, the blind see,
Wow.
and the disabled walk. Which I have a problem, like, not every disabled person can't walk.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a different time. There are plenty of disabilities.
Oh my
where
gosh,
you
they're
can-
walking. They're like, yeah, I walked here.
Yeah, I'm blind. I can walk.
Look at them walk.
Wow! I did it again! She began broadcasting on radio in the early 1920s as well. In April of 22, she became the first woman to preach a sermon wirelessly. And in 23, Foursquare Church was officially founded. That was the church that she sort of created. It's still around today. And they even had their own, they owned a radio station KFSG in 1924, and she became the second woman granted a broadcast license by the Department of Commerce. Wow. So I've seen, and I don't remember if I have this quote in here somewhere, but they kind of, modern day, they liken her to, I reckon I do have it somewhere, but it's like she was very in touch with like the cutting edge, the new stuff. So like radio, she was on it. She was like very good at marketing herself and really like broad appeal. Yeah. She was very savvy.
She'd be on TikTok today.
100% should be preaching on TikTok. Yeah. TikTok Live, which I always watch. As soon as someone's live, I'm like, ugh. So her popularity and fame only grew, and she began raising money for construction of a large domed church in Echo Park, which she would name Angelus Temple. The fundraising went better than anticipated, and the plans were changed to make Angelus Temple even bigger. It ended up costing around $250,000 to construct. This is in the early 1920s. That's millions now. And it's considered the first US megachurch. It opened in January of 1923, and according to church records, the temple received 40 million visitors within the first 7 years.
Christ!
Gary Christ! It had like a
40 million.
It had about 10,000 members enrolled. So it's got a very big sort of congregation anyway, and then they just had all these people visiting as well. Lots of tourism coming for it. That's
incredible.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
I will say as well that her church did a lot more good in the community than I expected from a mega church, because mega churches feel a little bit culty and full on. But Matthew Avery Sutton wrote that as McPherson did not distinguish between the deserving and the undeserving, her commissary became known as an effective and inclusive aid institution, assisting more families than other public or private institutions. Because her programs aided non-residents such as migrants from other states and Mexico, she ran afoul of California state regulations. So she was just she would just help anyone and everyone. She didn't discriminate, like a lot of, especially back then, probably still a little bit now. Like a church will help their people.
Right, you have to be enrolled with us or whatever. You have to be of our similar faith, and then
and then of course, we'll help you and clothe you. But if you're not, but she was just helping anybody. Men released from prison were found jobs. A church commissary offered food, clothing, and blankets to those in need. She became active in creating soup kitchens, free clinics, and other charitable activities during the Great Depression, feeding an estimated 1.5 million people.
Wow.
That's really
so doing a lot of good stuff.
It feels like up to this point of the story, the only bad thing she's done is name her kid Rolf.
Yeah. Yeah.
Her only sin.
Yeah.
Rolf.
Imagine being your parents' only sin. Rolf. When the government shut down the free school lunch program, McPherson took it over. Her giving alleviated suffering on an epic scale is another quote.
Wow, so the government were like, we
can't afford free lunches. She was like, I'll feed the kids. Like, she's doing a lot.
Really
They're making a lot of money. She's preaching. She's obviously like very charismatic. She's becoming very, very famous.
She's making disabled people walk.
She's making disabled people walk, even if they already could. And it's amazing. And on the flip side of all that good work, her sermons sound wild. Casey Sepp wrote for The New Yorker, her sermons featured elaborate sets and musical numbers borrowed from the nearby and nascent film industry, including, this is my favourite, boxing rings in which she knocked out the devil.
That's incredible.
And a motorcycle that she wheeled across the stage with sirens wailing while calling herself one of the Lord's patrolmen.
What a show person.
How good is that?
Oh my gosh.
Charlie Chaplin once told her, half your success is due to your magnetic appeal and half due to the props and lights. So she really puts on a show.
I'd probably go to church if there was like guaranteed every week is a new 3-act structure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds great. Like, what's she going to do this week? Oh, she's going to knock out the devil in a boxing ring.
And even if it feels a bit like, you watch like WWE wrestling and you're like, I know this is choreographed.
Yeah, staged, but that's part of the fun.
I'm leaning in. It's a bit of fun. Yeah.
Get on board.
Oh, she's in a boxing ring punching the devil. Yeah, I'm going to that.
Well, she's got the devil in a headlock now. This is amazing.
Oh my gosh, she's bringing out a chair.
I also read that camels and even lions made appearances in her services at times. So Claire Hoffman, she's the one who wrote the book that came out earlier this year, and this is an excerpt from what she had written. She had an incredible sense of how to use her own image to connect to the public. She was on the cutting edge of the latest technology as she looked for every means to promote her gospel. Aimee's influence can be seen today in many of our iconic public figures, both the infamous and the faithful, from Billy Graham and Oprah to Donald Trump and Kim Kardashian. Larger-than-life personalities who have crafted spectacular personal narratives to influence and lecture us from their self-erected pulpits. Aimee was doing all of this a century ago to create and sell the most riveting story, her own.
Wow.
Really cool.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. That was over 1,000 words of background on who this woman is, so that you would understand the cultural and media sensation that was caused in 1926 when Aimee McPherson disappeared.
Oh, I knew there had to be a twist coming. Because so far it was just like a lady who was ahead of her time and would be killing it on TikTok.
And doing good shit, feeding people,
Yeah.
helping people.
Couldn't just be that. She has to go and disappear.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. She disappeared. Okay. I'm on the edge of my seat.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one website platform designed to help you stand out and succeed online. Whether you're just starting out or growing your business, Squarespace gives you everything you need to claim your domain and showcase your offerings with a professional website.
With Squarespace's collection of cutting-edge design tools, anyone can build a bespoke online presence that perfectly fits their brand or business. Name a brand or business.
Hairdresser.
Bang, I've got it.
Wow. Gardener.
Got it.
Lawyer.
Just checking. Got it. Because what I've done is I've started with Blueprint AI, Squarespace's AI-enhanced website builder, to get a fully custom website in just a few steps. First one's got scissors. Second one's got a lawnmower. Third one's got someone giving advice.
A gavel.
Yeah, a gavel. And someone giving advice. Squarespace also offers a complete library of professionally designed and award-winning website templates with options for every use and category. So it's easy and intuitive, no experience required.
Perfect, because I don't have any experience.
Ding, ding, ding.
Squarespace also gives you everything you need to offer services and get paid all in one place. From consultations to events and experiences, you can showcase your offerings with a customizable website designed to attract clients and grow your business. Get paid on time with professional on-brand invoices and online payments.
That's right. Whether you're a gardener, a lawyer, a hairdresser, or something else, you can head to squarespace.com/do-go-on for a free trial and to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Go to squarespace.com/do-go-on.
So, from Casey Sepp again. More recognisable than the Pope, McPherson was often besieged by followers, but the ocean offered an escape from their attention, and she liked going to the beach to read scripture and to write, and then to take a break from both to swim. So it was a warm May day, and Aimee and her secretary had gone to Ocean Park Beach, north of Venice Beach, for a swim. Aimee had been working on her sermon for the following Sunday. She set down her notes on a towel and made her way back to the water. She left behind her Bible and a purse containing $200 in neatly rolled bills, which is more than $3,500 today. So she's just... That's too much money to leave.
Yeah. It doesn't matter how neatly rolled the bills are.
That's too... Why are you carrying
Like a
that?
thief opening up your purse being like, oh, this is too neatly rolled.
Oh,
I couldn't
I
possibly steal this.
Oh, no. This is obviously the money of a very respectable lady. I couldn't possibly.
I mean, and she didn't even do that thing where she like put it in a shoe or something just to throw thieves
No, it
off
was
the
too
scent.
neatly rolled.
I feel...
You don't want to disturb the roll.
I mean, I don't carry cash anymore because it's 2025, but if I ever had like even a 50 in my wallet, let alone 100, I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Everyone knows.
Everyone knows, I can tell. When I used to work in retail and you had to go and like take cash to the bank to deposit it or get change or whatever, you'd be walking through the shopping centre like, oh my God, everyone can tell I have
know.
a few $100 on me. Oh
know,
my
I've
God.
got
She's carrying like $3,500.
Yeah.
Why do you need $200, babe?
I'm thinking that means that she's probably pretty rich.
I think so.
Yeah.
Considering that, I mean, it sounds like she's putting a lot of money back into the community. But
Yes.
like if you're carrying the kind of cash, probably doing well.
You're doing okay. So she went off for a swim, and her secretary, Emma, ran a couple of errands, fetching a drink and some candy for Aimee, and then returned to their things on the beach to just wait and chill out. But as the sun lowered, Aimee hadn't returned from her swim. Emma alerted lifeguards who began a search. Police were called, and the search continued into the night. Aimee McPherson was probably the most famous person in Southern California at this time. So the news spread pretty quickly and the search was taken very seriously. From Hoffman again in Vanity Fair. By dawn the next day, 5,000 people crowded the sands of Venice Beach. 2 airplanes flew overhead, scanning the coast. A dozen rowboats bobbed in the waves with divers probing the depths. Farther out, motorboats used grappling hooks to rake the deeper reaches of the ocean.
Ow! Having a swim in by a grappling hook.
You're pretty far out. I'm a good swimmer.
Yeah. I'm having fun.
I'm having a nice time. I'm trying to beat a PB. The chaos intensified. A 26-year-old diver died of hypothermia after his equipment failed in the cold ocean depths. A woman, a disciple, floundered into the ocean saying she wanted to meet the evangelist in death, and she quickly did.
Oh.
The crowds grew during the week, and by the weekend, according to some newspaper accounts, 20,000 people had amassed on the shoreline praying for a miracle.
Wow.
So she's gone missing. 2 people have died in the search for her. It's this huge search, and the search doesn't bring anything up. Over the following weeks, many sightings of the missing evangelist were reported. Could this have been because McPherson's mother was offering a reward of $25,000? So about $400K
But
equivalent.
Neatly rolled?
It was
Or-
very neatly rolled. Honestly, you'd struggle to unpack it.
Yeah, okay.
It'd take ages. You couldn't just take it into the bank and be like, 1 house, please, or about 18 houses, please. It couldn't. So on June 5th, newspaper headlines announced McPherson had been found in Canada. Tracked by 3 detectives, a woman reported to have been the missing evangelist was found in Edmonton, Alberta. She'd arrived there in a Studebaker, and the woman checked into the Corona Hotel and was positively identified by 3 operators as Aimee McPherson. So police go down, and this woman was picked up by authorities. She gave proof of identity as somebody else. It was not her. And they're all like, I'm sorry, ma'am. Enjoy your night.
Oh my God, how confusing for everyone.
It's full on.
So 3 people were like, no, it's
That's
definitely
100% her.
Has anyone asked her? Nah. I know it's her.
It's her. It's definitely her. Get the cops.
her. She's clearly had work done.
Yeah. She's changed her hair.
Disguise her identity, but it
dramatically.
is her.
She's lost a foot of height.
Yeah.
You can do that in the water. It's cold.
And here's the thing. This happens a lot. And so it's worth noting that all of these people have only ever seen her in pictures.
Oh, yeah.
There isn't TV, so you
Yes.
don't sort of see someone dynamically. So
They might have heard her voice over the wireless.
Yeah, quite
but
possibly.
that's about it.
That doesn't always help you identify. Yep. So they've seen pictures, and they know she's missing, and there's a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
LAPD reiterated that they were sort of saying to her family, like, she drowned.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm very sorry, but it happens. She drowned. And the media circus around her death was causing a lot of chaos. So they're kind of like, let's let this go. But her mother held out hope. Several ransom demands were received, but they were determined to be fraudulent as well. False sightings kept popping up all over the country. On one particular day, she was seen in 16 different cities on one day.
Wow.
Those cities are all very close, but like walkable. But anyway, no.
I mean,
like,
she's got the gospel car, so.
yeah, you could zip around. 16 different places. They're like, I saw her. Eventually, even her mother believed that Aimee McPherson had died.
Okay.
Until
What? You've got to be kidding me.
June 23rd, Aimee McPherson stumbled out of the desert
The desert?
in Agua Prieta, a Mexican town across the border from Douglas, Arizona.
I wish I had saved that big Gary Christ for this moment.
Yeah.
This is the big moment.
This is a Gary Christian.
This is a Gary Christ
Stumbles
moment.
out of a desert
Yeah.
In Mexico.
in Mexico.
How long after did you say, sir?
That was June 23rd. She went missing in May. I think it was something like 30 days.
Wow. Gary Christ. Gary fucking Christ.
Gary fucking So she approached a Mexican couple for help and promptly collapsed in front of them. They brought her inside and helped her as she recounted her story. So this was what she said. She was kidnapped, drugged, tortured, and held for ransom in a shack by 2 men and a woman. Their names that she heard were Steve, Rose, and another unnamed man.
Rolf.
Rolf! A 4th person by the name of Philippe stopped by for a visit. She's just trying to like,
She'll piece it all together.
another guy came. She's trying to give as much information as possible. I think one of them was left-handed. I don't know.
At one point, they drove me around to 16 different cities in the one day.
Because honestly, it was too much for a day. I didn't really feel like we'd experienced the city.
I can say I've been there, but I haven't really been.
I don't have any recommendations of restaurants. It was fly in, fly out. Sometimes we'd barely even stopped. That's the tour life, baby. So Mexican authorities were notified, and she was transported across the border to Douglas, first to the police station and then the hospital. As nurses tended to her blistered feet and removed cactus spines from her legs, McPherson went on and on about protecting her daughter, Roberta. She claimed the kidnappers had mentioned plans to kidnap other celebrities, and she was worried they would go after her daughter as well, given that she had now escaped. Mm. But I do find it a little bit funny because at this point, the hospital staff did not know who she was. So they probably think she's just got a bit of sunstroke. She's a bit loopy.
They're going to kidnap other celebrities.
And they're like,
I have no idea who you are.
Yeah, they're like, no, I'm
yes,
sure,
other
yes.
celebrities, yeah.
I know, it's scary. My daughter, yeah. Oh,
Yeah, oh, Felipe, yes.
Yeah. Is your daughter here in the room with us? Luckily, a reporter heard the claims and visited the hospital. Though she was emaciated and barely recognisable, the journalist said he knew her from covering past revival meetings she'd done. So once properly identified, her family and some LA authorities took a train to see her. So her statement taken in the Douglas Hospital explained that while on the beach, a young couple approached and asked her to come and pray for their sick child. So they'd obviously knew who she was. When she went with them and looked in on the bundle in the back seat of her car, they shoved her in. At the same time, a cloth was held over her face loaded with a sticky, sweet substance, later speculated to be chloroform.
Oh, treacle.
Treacle.
Have that. Sorry about this. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah.
My wife's a very good baker. We're thinking of opening a shop. After awakening, she was no longer clothed in her... Sorry, she wasn't in her bathing suit. They'd put a dress on her. Still weird. Don't take her bathers off.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
You don't want to ever wake up and not be in the same thing you went to sleep in.
Yeah, because you're like, how did I get in this?
Yeah.
Did you see the scars and the weird mole? Do you think it's weird? Do you still like me? Anyway.
Have you got more of that treacle?
I'm hungry.
A woman named Rose, who displayed professional nursing skills, looked after her. Held for a time in what was a boarded-up room in a house that appeared to be in an urban area, she was later moved to a remote shack in Mexico. McPherson's statement gave details on how she escaped the desert shack while her assailants were out on errands. She cut her bonds on a metal can lid, a technique she later successfully demonstrated several times before skeptical reporters.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And climbed out of the shack's back window. Using a mountain to navigate, she made her way north. I don't understand that. What do you mean you used a mountain to navigate?
It would mean that in the desert, I guess you're walking in the same direction, maybe?
Yeah, you're like, I'll just keep the mountain on my left.
Yeah. Hang on a second. Last night, it was on my right.
I don't understand. I would die so quick.
Yeah.
Oh, put me in the wilderness. I'd probably just lie down.
Maybe, I don't know.
It does.
It's got to be that.
Yeah.
So you keep that as a landmark
Yeah.
in a similar spot, and then where the sun's setting, you're like, okay.
Or maybe that's it. It's like the shadow cast by the mountain. You can tell where the sun is.
But yeah, people were way more practical back then.
Oh, yeah, we're
They didn't
useless.
need-
If I don't have an iPhone with me, I'm fucked. I'd be like, well, I can't look up on GPS where I am, so I guess I'm dead.
That'd be so great if it just said, she used her iPhone to know where north was.
Just turning around. No.
I can't even see the mountain on this fucking map.
Oh, probably the big green thing. I was at a park. Hang on.
Let me go to Earthview.
Oh, God, the reception here is shit. She told how she used her garments to shield herself from the afternoon sun. Because she's in the middle of the desert. At this time of year, it comes up a lot later, but it's like high 30s, low 40s in direct sun. Like, it'd be hot.
Yep.
And in the evening, lights from a nearby town led her towards civilization. So I'm not 100% sure how long she was...
Oh, so when she sees lights from a nearby town, she just ditches the mountain. I don't need you anymore.
Mountain's like, you're welcome, bitch.
I've been here longer than those lights. Let me tell you that.
And I'll be here long after those lights are gone. Unless someone blows me up.
That would be weird.
But, pave paradise, put up a parking lot, that kind of thing. Who knows? I'm a mountain.
A mountain having an existential crisis.
I'm probably imagining it more like a hill. It's not that big. Blowing up a mountain would take a lot, but a hill. Anyway, so she's told her story. She's been properly identified. She's been, somewhat looked after, and arrangements are made to escort her back to Los Angeles. Travelling by train, a very strange thing happened that sort of sets the scene for the aftermath of this whole ordeal. 2 men boarded the train, both of whom had claimed to have seen McPherson in different places during the time that she'd been missing. One man, realising a mistaken identity, apologised and excused himself after seeing her. He was like, I saw it! Oh, no, that wasn't her. My bad. I'm really sorry. See you later. And he leaves. But the other one doubles down and stated that he'd seen her in Tucson, Arizona on a street corner 4 weeks earlier in May. This is an amazing quote. By his own admission, he had never seen McPherson in person, only by photograph. The woman he saw in the street wore a tight, low-fitting hat, shading her eyes and walking with a different gait than McPherson used. Yet for him, it was those obscured eyes that confirmed his identification. She's wearing a big hat that's covering most of her face, and he's like, that's her.
Yeah.
That's how I imagine she'd wear that hat.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd recognise you in a really big hat.
Yeah. That's so. And then these people just happen to be on the train, and they're like,
I think they...
because so many people have identified her.
Yeah, I wonder. It made it seem like they very purposefully got on the train to identify
And he's
her.
like being like, Tucson, Arizona, remember me? Remember me? You were wearing that hat.
She's like,
You were walking with a different gait.
Yeah.
you were walking differently and you looked quite different.
You're a fantastic performer.
But I look the same, which you would remember.
From when you saw me just a few weeks ago. And that kind of behaviour is going to happen a lot more.
Okay.
Now, this is the 1920s, and something we've learnt on this show is back in the day, people loved to turn up to look at a train. And about 30 to 50,000 people did just that when Aimee McPherson's train arrived in Los Angeles.
Wow.
Just crowds. It was a greater turnout than President Woodrow Wilson's visit to LA in 1919.
He would have been pissed.
Attesting to her popularity and the growing influence of mass media coverage. And from Wiki, already incensed over McPherson's influential public stance on evolution and the Bible, most of the Chamber of Commerce and some other civic leaders, however, saw the event as a gaudy display, nationally embarrassing to the city. Many Los Angeles area churches were also annoyed. The divorcee, McPherson, had settled in their town, and many of their parishioners were now attending her church with its elaborate sermons that, in their view, diminished the dignity of the gospel.
Oh.
The Chamber of Commerce, together with Reverend Robert P. Schuler, leading the Los Angeles Church Federation and assisted by the press and others, became an informal alliance to determine if her disappearance was caused by something other than a kidnapping. So they just don't like her. She is very famous and she is doing the same job as them but better, and they don't like that. So now they are just spreading doubt.
They're sort of seeing a way to destroy her.
Yeah. They're like, fucking bet she wasn't even kidnapped. That's how they spoke.
Yeah.
That's the 20s. So all of this doubt starts to spread about her story and her disappearance. Leadership of her temple debated whether to let the matter drop, like do they just let it pass, or do they sort of push for vindication? McPherson herself welcomed the opportunity for more publicity, since she saw it as a way to expose more people to her vision of Jesus Christ. She's kind of like, well, publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
You know how people will like turn up to go look at that church that was part of this big scandal? She's like, then I could get them in.
Yeah, once they're here, I mean, that's
Yeah.
half the problem.
Which probably just makes those other people even more suspicious. Because
Yeah.
she's a marketing genius.
She's so good.
Yeah, that's right. It does feel like the ultimate stunt to
Yeah.
disappear for 30 days.
Well, that's right. Yeah, that was definitely something they accused her of. Her mum was against fighting the claims, worrying that things could get out of hand and really detract from their work. Ultimately, though, an influential friend of the temple and McPherson, Judge Carlos Hardy, decided to go to court and present their complaint. What followed was several stages of grand jury inquiries, all conducted by LA District Attorney Asa Keys. The first inquiry, held in July of 1926, was about charging McPherson's kidnappers, whose true identities remained unknown. However, it became immediately apparent McPherson was being interrogated from a viewpoint of hostile skepticism. Prosecutor Asa Keys insinuated she was a charlatan who was run out of various cities during her revivals. McPherson offered to show news clippings to the contrary, attesting to the success of her work and requests for return visits.
Yeah, I'm popular everywhere I go.
He's like, "Wow, you've been run out of town." She's like, "Here's a letter from 10 towns asking me to come back."
Here's a letter from God.
Annoyed, Keys continued, focusing on the belief that the disappearance was a plot to elicit money for a memorial fund commemorating McPherson's death or for promotional purposes. Her sanity was also questioned. Perhaps she'd simply wandered off suffering from amnesia. The first inquiry ended with a determination that there was not enough evidence to charge either alleged kidnappers or the McPherson group for fraud. So they're just like throwing everything they can of like, probably you want money or something, don't you? And she's like, I've got plenty of money.
of that.
Yeah.
It's all neatly rolled at home.
Yeah. Do you need some? I can give you some.
It must have been amnesia.
You
was amnesia.
You must be crazy, right? Are you on your period? It's probably that. You know how they are. There's a bit of that kind of vibe.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
necessarily
for sure.
period specifically, but it is a lot of, for a woman, there's a lot of that.
Yeah. Could you ever really trust a woman?
Personally, no. I've known heaps of them, and I am one.
You might have a gospel car, but you definitely can't drive it very well.
Every time they're driving past a gospel car, they go, "Oh, fucking woman driver."
Yeah.
Well, that's why they're all
that's a woman driver.
all over the road.
Yeah, but-
I do feel when somebody's driving really badly and I eventually pass them and it's a woman, I'm like, come on.
Yeah.
Please be better.
You're letting us all down.
Don't fall into the stereotype. That was shit. That was awful driving you just did. You cut across 4 lanes. I want to support you, but that was fucking awful. You
I feel
know?
like
and then I go all around.
I feel like on the roads I'm doing my fair share of making it a bit more equal out there. People are being
Thank
like,
you.
"You're a terrible driver." I'm like, "Yes, and I'm a man. I'm doing both."
A straight white man.
Said it couldn't be
bad
done.
driver.
Yep, I'm doing it all.
I feel really smug when I see old people on their phones in the car,
In a
and I'm
car?
like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's just young people, isn't it? It's just young people on their phones." And the old people, they stop in the middle of a footpath because something's on their phone,
Yeah.
and they have to take their glasses off.
It says here that it's Jeremy's birthday on Facebook.
I'd better send him a text. Yeah, how do I do that? 45 minutes later, they're still blocking the footpath. But young people are the problem. It's just a little tangent I had to go on for a bit about how you can't trust women. They're terrible drivers and old people suck.
You're listening to Money Sheer Gold.
Old women especially, my God. So the second inquiry started in August and was based around a suggestion that rather than being held by kidnappers, McPherson was cohabitating with her former employee, Kenneth Ormiston, in a resort town of Carmel by the Sea. Now, maybe I should have looked up. It feels like maybe Americans would say like Carmel by the Sea. You know? I'm saying Carmel like my auntie Carmel.
But they say caramel.
I know.
Yeah.
So it's tricky.
I think they say every word caramel.
Should we just say
They definitely don't say treacle. They say caramel.
I love caramel.
I don't know what to call this
Yeah, I think
town.
I've heard Cape Carmel before.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Cape Carmel.
Let's say Carmel then.
Okay.
But no, in my head, I'm saying Carmel.
So
Carmel.
Yeah.
Carmel.
And that's not wrong, Americans. It's a name.
Yeah. It's a name and it's tonal. We're tonal.
It's a tonal language.
Carmel.
Are you
Oi,
saying?
Carmel.
Are you saying I don't know my own auntie's name? How dare you,
Carmel.
Carmel? The cottage was rented by Ormiston. So yeah, a cottage was rented there by Ormiston under an assumed name of George E. McIntyre. And Ormiston had been seen driving up the coast with an unidentified woman on the day that that McPherson had disappeared.
Right. And you say this is her employee or
A
something?
former employee.
Oh,
He'd
okay.
worked for her up until like the year before.
Yep.
I think he was working, it's kind of like a sound engineer job for a radio station. So some believe McPherson and Ormiston, who was married, she wasn't, had run off together. Scandalous affair.
Ooh.
Now, keep in mind that when she first disappeared, there was multiple, maybe hundreds of sightings of her all over the country. None of those came from Carmel by the Sea at that time.
Right. She was seen. It's probably the only place on earth she wasn't seen.
She wasn't there.
That weekend.
But now, heaps are coming out. So LA authorities realised that none of their witnesses had verifiably seen McPherson in person, again, only in photos. They'd seen pictures of her probably because of this huge news story.
Yeah.
And they'd often see that picture weeks after they'd seen a person, and they'd go, well, that was probably her.
That person, yeah.
Yeah, I walked past that person.
Yeah.
She was standing in the middle of the footpath sending a text.
I thought, get out of the fucking way.
Yeah.
Now I've got to awkwardly get my dog and myself around you because you've just stopped. My dog wants to sniff you. So here's a couple of those witnesses. The first one was Jeanette Parks, who lived next door to the cottage, caught passing glimpses of a woman wearing a cap and goggles at no closer than about 25 feet.
Cap and goggles.
I saw her. There was a woman there wearing a cap and goggles. I saw her from quite a distance. I was her. Another one was Ernest Renkert, incredible name, who delivered a load of wood to the cottage, told a judge that the woman he saw, and he believed to be McPherson, was blonde and no older than 25. McPherson was over 35 and had auburn hair. He's like, yep, saw a cute little blonde thing. No older than 25. McPherson's there in the court like...
All of this sounds like a boyfriend who's been caught perving. And it's like, no, I thought it was Aimee.
This guy genuinely at one point says like, well, if I see a woman, I look.
Yeah.
He genuinely says that. And like McPherson and her mum laugh in court. Like they're cooperating with everything and just sort of going along with it like, okay, you think I was there? Prove it. And it's very funny. Another witness was a man named William McMichaels. Incredible. He was a stonemason who'd been working on a fence on the property while Ormiston and his female companion had been staying there.
Can I just say, if you're having an affair, they've had too many people like tradies around to their place. If you're trying to keep it under wraps, don't invite, hey, milkman, come on in for a beer. Yeah, because this is my girlfriend. Want to meet? I'm like,
well, I guess like, yeah, they're having an affair, but they've gone to like a
Coldplay concert.
They've gone to a Coldplay concert, and you should be safe there. Safety in numbers.
I just think so. I think if it is this woman that's faked her own disappearance for 30 days, you wouldn't be inviting the stonemason around or getting some wood delivered and have her waving at them from the kitchen.
Yeah, isn't that the difference? Like if it is just a secret affair, you've gone to a completely different town. Nobody knows you. Nobody knows to be sus of your relationship or to be really making a note of what you look like. So you would sort of be like, oh, thanks for the firewood. Bye-bye. But you're right. If you're like on the run, hiding out, faking your own death, you'd probably be keeping a low profile. Yes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So you've got this guy who's working on a fence. He saw the woman more times than any of the other witnesses combined. He said at once that he was within 10 feet, 3 meters of this woman on several occasions. And he said McPherson is not the woman I saw. So he's slightly more credible than the woman who lives next door and saw little glimpses of a person wearing a cap and goggles and went, her. Some prosecution witnesses stated that when they saw McPherson in Carmel, she had short hair and furor ensued that she was currently wearing fake hair.
Oh my!
Like she cut all her hair off and now she's wearing a wig.
It's the only explanation.
She's got fake hair attached to her hair to trick us.
Pull her hair off.
So, requested by her lawyer, McPherson stood up, unpinned her hair, which fell abundantly around her shoulders, shocking the witnesses and others into embarrassed silence.
Oh my God. It's even longer than we ever thought. It's so long and luxurious.
What do you use on it?
She's clearly had a hair transplant.
It's so shiny and beautiful. Pull it, make sure it's real. They're like, she had short hair. So
how embarrassing.
It's so embarrassing and so funny. Kenneth Ormiston admitted to having rented the cottage, but claimed that the woman who had been there with him, known in the press as Mrs. X, was not McPherson, but another woman with whom he was having an extramarital affair. Oh. So now, like, he's being dragged into it too. The prosecution would not let up. They tried so many different angles. They found religious books in the cottage. She's religious.
There's barely any of those in the 1920s in houses in America.
So explain that. And it turns out they belonged to the wife of the owner of the cottage. They looked for fingerprints. McPherson's weren't there.
Well, she's clearly covered. She was wearing gloves.
Yeah.
She's wearing gloves.
At all times.
We found cooking utensils. She's a woman. She was in the kitchen.
She's a woman.
Just getting more and more desperate.
What other room do they go in? They found a grocery store receipt that had handwriting on it.
She writes,
We got her. We got her.
The original slip later mysteriously disappeared from the courtroom, but there were like photocopies available. It wouldn't have been a photocopy, but it was that type of thing. The defense had a handwriting expert of their own and claimed to have a photograph of the well-publicized slip, which differed from the photocopy.
Oh, gosh.
So they contended the reproduction had been maliciously tampered with to resemble McPherson's handwriting. And the slip's origin was also questioned. The original, grocery slip would have had to have been in the yard for 2 months, surviving dew, fog, and lawn maintenance before anybody discovered it.
it's amazing how, the legal system has... we put so much faith in it when the origins of it were evidence was just people being like, "Look, this was clearly forged.
Yeah.
What is this paper?
It's crazy.
Nothing's real.
Nothing's
They're
real.
just throwing everything at the
It's
wall."
absolute bullshit. Since not having enough evidence from Carmel by the Sea was obtained to proceed to trial, by mid-August the investigation appeared to be at an end. The following January, a jury trial was scheduled to charge McPherson, her mother, and several other defendants with criminal conspiracy, as well as perjury and obstruction of justice. If convicted, the counts added up to a maximum prison time of 42 years.
What the hell?
So they've never found any evidence of anything, and she's going to trial.
We got to find this Felipe guy. He knows.
Felipe knows it
He
all.
knows
Felipe
what's
knows.
going on.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. I cannot stress how long. You know when sometimes you look something up. Obviously, for these reports, a great jumping off point is Wikipedia. Obviously, it links you to a lot of other good resources and it summarizes the story for you. You know when sometimes you're on a Wikipedia page and you're like, this is the longest fucking Wikipedia page I've ever seen in my life. It just keeps going.
Oh, wow.
This is that. And it's just the Wikipedia page of her disappearance. Then she has one of just her life as well. And it's also insanely long. So we're a comedy podcast. I've tried to just grab the important bits, but there is so much going on in this whole trial. And there's attempted bribery from Mexican officials, and there's there's conspiracy of some of the people working on it's fucking insane. It could be a 10-part series. I'm going to do it in an hour and a bit. It's insane. So like I said, trying to find the fun bits. Essentially, I guess she's just become such a big name and this is such a high profile case. So people are kind of keen to be involved if they can find an angle. So a woman named Lorraine Wiseman Seelaff came forward and introduced herself to McPherson. She said she was in Carmel as a nurse for her, and her twin sister was there. Her twin sister was Ormiston's mistress, and the twins look a little bit like McPherson, so they're being misidentified as McPherson. So she's kind of gone to her and she's like, "Hey, babe, this is embarrassing, but I know what's happened."
Oh, if I put on goggles, I look exactly like
I put on
you.
goggles, we are twins. And McPherson's like, this is great. Thank you for clearing that up. And I think she even sort of she lets this woman, Wiseman Seelaff, sort of stay at the church for a little bit while all of this is being investigated. But later, Wiseman Seelaff was caught for passing bad checks and blamed it on her twin sister. When her story became untenable, she requested that the Angelus Temple post her bail, but they refused because they're like, "Oh, you're actually insane." She then said that McPherson paid her to tell that story about what happened at Carmel by the Sea.
Oh, gosh.
She ended up siding with the prosecution in exchange for immunity, and then she implicated one of McPherson's lawyers, Roland Rich Woolley, for inappropriate conduct when they lived in another state where she said they went to school together. The accusation forced Woolley from the case. Eventually, it was proven that she had lied. They had never met before.
They didn't go to school together.
She was like, he was really bad to me when I went to school with him. And he's like, what? So she's not the most reliable witness. So then we have Asa Keys, the district attorney, whose case relied totally on this witness to prove the alleged conspiracy, realised Wiseman Seelaff was giving false testimony against Mrs. McPherson. Keys briefly considered charging Lorraine Wiseman Seelaff with perjury, as her testimony kept the inquiry going for another 6 weeks, costing $100,000 and yielding nothing. However, for all defendants, he submitted to the judge, just dismissed the case. He was like, it's like at some point he was like, just forget it.
This is wasting a lot of people's time.
This is so embarrassing. And it really is. In her own writings about the time, McPherson said that in Los Angeles, ahead of any court date, she noticed newspaper stories about her kidnapping becoming more and more sensationalized as the days passed. To maintain excited, continued public interest, she speculated the newspapers let her original account give way to torrents of new spice and thrill, stories about her being elsewhere with that one or another. It didn't matter if the material was disproved or wildly contradictory. They're just like, they're just selling papers. No correction or apology was given for the previous story, as another, even more outrageous tale took its place.
Oh, gosh.
And the news stories of the time were wild. A newspaper editorial crossed the boundary of publication decency for US postal inspectors when 75-year-old Abraham Sauer of the San Diego Herald wrote a lurid column about McPherson and her purported 10 days in a love shack. A grocery delivery boy, Ralph Swanson, stated that McPherson answered Ralph. He stated that McPherson answered the door when he delivered groceries to a home there. In the newspaper interview, he stated seeing 3 physicians leaving the Carmel cottage at night. The news article created the impression an abortion had been carried out. So they're just coming up with all sorts of stuff. She's off having an affair. She's off having an illegitimate abortion. But McPherson's near-death medical operation in 1914, which prevented her from having more children, was already part of the public record.
Oh.
So that was not possible, but that didn't stop them writing it and didn't stop people believing it.
There are 3 doctors there and an alien.
And we all know it takes 3 doctors. So, and an alien too.
And they're all working together.
And it wasn't just the media. The police and the court system were fumbling things as well. There were multiple pieces of lost evidence. They just kept losing things, including a page-long handwritten ransom note demanding $500,000, signed Revengers and mailed on May 24th from San Francisco to the Angelus Temple. It was passed on to police and later discovered to be missing from their locked evidence files in October. The much published grocery slip found at the Carmel by the Sea cottage, that disappeared, as I mentioned earlier. A big blue steamer trunk purportedly belonging to Ormiston was confiscated in September from a New York hotel. Its contents were inventoried and the trunk was sealed. And then when it arrived in LA, they checked its contents against the inventory list and several things were missing. How? Why?
Hey.
So it's just the whole thing completely fumbled and bizarre. Other theories and innuendo were rampant about what actually occurred, and also without evidence, that she'd run off with some other lover, had gone off to have an abortion, was taking time to heal from plastic surgery, or had staged a publicity stunt. 2-inch headlines called her a tart, a conspirator, and a homewrecker. She had once enjoyed only favourable press, nicknamed Miracle Woman or Miracle Worker, up until the time of the 1926 grand jury inquiry. Biographer Matthew Avery Sutton wrote that McPherson learned that in a celebrity-crazed culture fueled by mass media, a leading lady could become a villainess in a blink of an eye.
Wow, they really turned on her.
Through nothing that she's done.
Yeah.
Wild.
It's a cautionary tale for anyone famous on TikTok today.
Mm-hmm.
This could happen to you
at any moment.
So
Yeah.
if you get kidnapped.
Don't you dare think about rolling any notes.
That's where she went
Don't
wrong.
put on goggles.
Don't put on goggles.
They'll come for you.
Yeah. You go swimming in that ocean, you open your eyes in that salt water.
You stare at that
You
salt.
stare at it. You let your eyeballs burn if you want to keep your TikTok career. The 1926 grand jury case, the largest of its kind in California, had hundreds of reporters and agencies looking for discrediting evidence against McPherson. Almost $500,000, equivalent of over $8 million today, was spent, mostly by newspapers assisting in the investigation, and 3,600 pages of transcript generated. It was huge. The record stated the McPherson sensation has sold millions of newspapers, generated fat fees for lawyers, stirred up religious antagonism, advertised Los Angeles in a ridiculous way. A man named H.L. McKinnon said McPherson was not responsible for the controversy and called it a dirty shame. Officials and others continued to investigate, even years later, but were unable to prove her kidnapping story false.
It sounds like she kept her dignity through the whole thing. Like she's just
Yeah.
so calm in the whole thing.
It really read that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It seemed like she was very cooperative. I think they there's at one point when they're trying to prove that the handwriting on the grocery slip was hers. She was very forthcoming with giving them handwriting samples, whereas anybody else that they were sort of comparing it to kind of made a bit more of a fuss. Like she was very cooperative with
Yeah.
everything, and it just so like even if she did fake it, or even if she was actually off with Ormiston, or who knows, nobody can prove that that's false or true.
Yeah.
Like, there's no evidence to say that that is what happened. They also haven't. I think they sort of got so lost in proving one theory right that it feels like they didn't really investigate the kidnapping very
No,
much.
yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Like,
Yeah.
I was just going to say, that would be the worst part, wouldn't it? Like, if you're being accused of all this stuff and you're like, I was kidnapped and tortured.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's like when we did the report on Denise Hoskins, and the police spend so much time, the really important early hours, interrogating her husband because they've decided he did it. When her story, or what he said, was actually true, and that she was kidnapped and they weren't looking for her. They were just trying to prove that he did it, which he didn't. So they weren't finding anything. They should have
And
been.
that's valuable time.
Exactly. It's kind of like, all right, well, like if he's telling you a story, try to prove that story wrong then
Yeah.
as well, and maybe you'll actually end up proving it right. It's crazy. So the Court of Historical Review and Appeal in San Francisco, which is made up of members of the bench who examine and retry historical cases and controversies. In April of 1990, a decision was handed down regarding the matter of McPherson's kidnapping story. George T. Chopelis, the names in this have been incredible, the then presiding judge of the San Francisco Municipal Court, found the issues involved both serious and fascinating. He concluded that there was never any substantial evidence to show that her story was untrue. She may not have been a saint, but she certainly was no sinner either, he said. So there was
Except
no...
for Rolf. That was the one sin.
You all get one.
Except for Rolf. That was a big sin. Never have the second child. That's what I say as a second child.
So she was born in, 1890? So she would have been 100 when she got this.
Yeah.
She's still around
And she was very happy
to be
hear.
cleared.
Well, she continued to do her work long after the scandal was over, though her public image suffered a significant hit. She married for a third time to actor and musician David Hutton. While she was in Europe, she was angered to learn that Hutton was billing himself as Amy's man in his cabaret singing act.
Amy's man.
Everyone's going to see Amy's husband. They're so excited. Oh my God, that's Amy's husband.
That's Amy's husband.
He knows Amy. That's crazy. La 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 la.
And then she's not happy about that.
Yeah, and fair enough. And, well, it was mostly that he was frequently photographed with scantily clad women, which
It's like, I'm Amy's husband.
his personal scandals were pretty damaging to the reputation of her church and her as an individual. So they separated in 1933 and were divorced in 1934. Again, like, after the disappearance, her Wikipedia page goes for ages. Like, there's still so much more stuff that she's doing, but it does give the impression that she was viewed a bit differently, although, you know, the church still managed to have lots of members and still raise a lot of money, do a lot of things, but it's crazy. She continued to travel around the US and the world, continued immense charity work, and of course attracting more controversy. But all good things must come to an end. While in Oakland, California for a series of revivals, her son Ralph found her unconscious in her hotel room on September 26, 1944. An autopsy revealed a heart attack likely caused by an overdose of sleeping pills, which she was taking following numerous health problems. Like, she'd had the appendicitis, she'd had
Spanish
malaria, Spanish flu, she'd had... Then there'd been more later in her life as well. Given the circumstances, there was speculation about suicide, but most sources generally agree that the overdose was accidental. She was 53 years old. 45,000 people waited in long lines, some until 2 a.m., to file past the evangelist whose body lay in a state for 3 days in the temple. It took 11 trucks to transport the $50,000 worth of flowers to the cemetery.
Wow.
So 45,000 people have turned up to pay their respects. So she's still obviously quite influential,
Yeah.
quite famous, but in a different sort of scale, which is kind of sad.
A few of those people looking at her in the casket being like, I saw her in Tucson,
Yeah.
Arizona.
You know what?
A couple of weeks
Yeah,
ago.
that guy is there. He's like, I fucking reckon it was her. Hang on, can we put a hat
Can we
on
put
her?
these goggles on?
Can we obscure most of her face? Yeah, that's her. That's her.
That's how I remember her.
Got her. Millions of dollars had passed through McPherson's hands during her life. Like you were saying, Dave, she had $200 with her in cash on the beach. She's obviously doing okay. But her personal estate amounted to only $10,000. So she wasn't keeping that money for herself. Her daughter Roberta received $2,000. The remainder went to her son Rolf.
What?
Oh.
Rolf got the majority?
I think Rolf ended up sort of following on and also leading the church for a long time. So
Okay.
maybe that was why, but who really knows? But the Foursquare Church at the time was around 2.8 million. So interesting that she wasn't pocketing a lot of that. McPherson challenged expectations for women. Her gender and divorces were of particular concern to many fundamentalist churches with which she wanted to work. But the atheist Charles Lee Smith remarked that she had an extraordinary mind, particularly for a woman. Her legacy lives on in many ways. The Foursquare Church is still going. It claimed a worldwide membership of over 7.9 million a few years ago in 2019. She was a subject of inspiration for numerous books, films, plays, TV shows. A TV film about the events surrounding her disappearance, which was called The Disappearance of Aimee. The Disappearance of Aimee. It came out in 1976. It starred Faye Dunaway as McPherson and Betty Davis as her mother.
Wow, good
Yeah.
cast.
In April 2025, the book Sister Sinner by Claire Hoffman was published, an exploration of McPherson's life, which I drew on a bit in this report, and I reckon is possibly the reason why Chris and Bridget may have been aware of this story. If you have like a week, go check out the 2 Wikipedia pages because, my God, they are dense. And there's so much. If you're really across this story, there's a lot that I have had to skip over just for time because I'm not Matt Stewart. I'm not doing a 5-hour report. That was actually longer in terms of word count for me, and I did it in an hour 13.
Wow.
But
You're efficient.
I'm efficient. I didn't let you guys speak.
What a cracking story, though.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the different, like, a lot of twists and turns.
Yeah.
I feel like I was always expecting it in some way she would become a villain. I did
Yeah.
not expect this story to turn out that she's just like this avalanche of
Yeah.
like popular distrust and kind of conspiracy, and then she's just like she keeps doing what she's doing.
She's just doing what she's doing. I mean, I highly doubt she's
Terrible driver, but she's
bad driver. I highly doubt she was perfect, and I'm sure she had like plenty of controversy and some views that we probably wouldn't agree with now. But yeah, I don't know. She also seemed to do a lot of things that were quite revolutionary. She helped a lot of people. It seemed like maybe she was doing things in an unusual way, but her intention behind it was good.
Yeah.
It seems. So it's absolutely an insane story. But yeah. And I was expecting like she goes missing, she reappears, there's, speculation that she's off having an affair or something. I was like, well, that's got to be it. And then the more you read about it or hear about some of the evidence, you're like, okay, so that's not her. So
Yeah.
it's wild and bizarre.
It's also so if you were having an affair when you decide it's time to re-enter society to like cut up your feet and like, stumble out of a desert. It's
Yeah.
a very extreme way to
Be in a desert for a long time.
just come back from the ocean you went into.
Yeah.
A bit, yeah. Sort of
It was wrinkly fingers.
Wrinkly fingers.
Oh, sorry, I was just going for a big swim.
What's that? Anything been happening here?
Yeah, well,
PB.
yeah. I just felt good and I just kept going. Yeah.
Thought I'd say, look for Harold.
So yeah, there you go. That is the story of the disappearance of Aimee Semple McPherson.
Wow.
Wild.
It had everything.
Twists, turns, drama, intrigue,
Goggles.
goggles,
A gospel car. It had it all.
and had a gospel car and a tonal language. Beautiful.
Well, Soren, thank you for joining us for this tale this week.
My pleasure.
Have you got anything coming up? Anything you want to tell people about, or ways to find you online?
Oh, when is this out?
Fantastic question. In a matter of weeks, mid-August, by the looks of it.
Yeah, just follow me online at Seren Comedy on Instagram and TikTok and all that stuff. And please join my cult.
Would you join Seren's cult?
Absolutely, I would.
Where
Where do I sign?
Yeah, if you join it now, we'll get it going, and then in 10 years, it might be you'll have a story. For
Yeah, I actually think getting your
For a
first
report.
member in a cult must be the hardest part. Hey,
Yeah.
join my thing.
True.
Great. Who else is there? Well, you be the first.
That's what they always say.
It's just us for now.
At pyramid schemes, it's like, you tell 3 people, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
If you start with 1, it's very slow.
Really slow.
process.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you know anyone? Can you tell them, please?
I don't know anyone else.
Just me.
It starts because the first one, they're awkward about how no one else is in it. All right, I've got to get some more people. in.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't really want to go if it's just me.
All right, we'll spread the word.
But yeah,
the good word.
Seren Comedy, the cult of me. If you could join it, please.
Well, as we say goodbye to our dear friend, Seren Jayamana.
Goodbye, Seren.
Goodbye, Seren.
See you never.
We say hello to some more dear friends for everyone's favourite section of the podcast, the fact, quote, or question section, which is usually introduced with a jingle that sounds something. I like this.
You've fucked that. That's not how Matt usually says it, but
Because
okay.
I forgot to. Do I mention Patreon first or after that was my thing?
A fact, quote, or question.
She always remembers the sing, and he always remembers the ding. Now, if you want to get involved on this section, that's how he does it. Beautiful.
Yeah, yes.
We are supported by people at Patreon, patreon.com/dogoonpod, where you sign up for some rewards,
Yes.
some benefits,
Yes.
some nice things for you.
We can be your friends with benefits.
We'd love that. And in exchange, you give us some little bits of money.
Just little bits.
Just little bits. And in exchange
Which
for...
is all relative, really, isn't it? And in this time, there's a cost of living crisis. So, not to diminish your
Yeah,
hard-earned dollars.
Exactly. But also, what's one more thing?
Well, it's cheaper than another streaming service.
Yeah.
And you get,
Yeah.
and for less than a streaming service, you can get 4 bonus episodes a month.
That's right. 4 bonus episodes a month. So basically one every single week. We've got a new season of our D&D show that is just started.
Yeah.
Which is very, very exciting. You can hear about live shows before anyone else. You get ad-free listening as well. So none of those pesky interruptions at the top or in the middle of the show.
Yep.
You also get to be part of the the Facebook group, the most lovely part of the internet.
Really lovely corner of the internet.
It's such a nice place. And on there, they've been giving out, organising their own hat swaps.
Yeah, they've done a few swaps. Group Mum Sophie Shooter has facilitated a few swaps over the years. Snacks, magnets, now hats,
T-shirts.
T-shirts. It's a really nice little community.
So that's very, very nice. You also get to hear about live shows, like I said, and discount codes are given out willy-nilly. We
Yeah.
love giving you discounts.
Can I tell you something? My partner has started listening to Do Go On
Really?
10 years in, and
Where, what, from the start?
no, he just so he's driving to work now, and it's
Okay.
like a good half-hour drive, and he's been listening to a few episodes. And last night he says to me, "I've been with him for 8 years. We've been doing this podcast for 10."
Yep.
He said, "Can anyone suggest a topic, or is it just Patreons?" And I said, "I explain that at the end of every single episode."
Yep.
And I go, "You don't listen to the Patreon section, do you?"
He's never got through
And he
it.
goes, "No, I stopped listening then." And I said, "Well, then you never hear me say, if you would like to suggest a topic, you can." And I did the whole spiel that I do at the end of every episode.
Well done.
And he was like, "Well, I should be listening." And I said, "Yes, you should, because the Patreon section is, of course, a time to celebrate our patrons, but it's also just a bit of bloody fun."
It's just a bit of bloody fun. And also, do you think he was angling for a suggestion? Does he have an idea?
Probably.
And you didn't say, you could just tell me and I could do it.
No, I said there's official channels. You can submit it in the hat like everybody else. There's no nepotism here. Okay. Anyway, so the first thing that we like to do is spend a little bit of time with some of the patrons who support us on what level, Dave?
Is it the Sydney Scheinberg
Yes.
Deluxe Memorial Package?
Yes.
Rest in peace. So as well as the bonus episodes and everything else, these people get to submit facts, quotes, or questions to be part of the actual show.
And it's expanded well beyond that. We get jokes, we get suggestions, we get brags,
Recipes.
recipes.
We do love a brag.
I love a brag.
hearing about you kicking goals. It's fun.
We love all of it. So let's get stuck in. I've got 3. As Matt always says, I have not read these before right now. So if I fumble, that's...
Come on. You're
Shut
a
up.
human.
And our first one comes from our beautiful Tasmanian listener, Dave Loring.
Thank you, Dave Loring.
You get to give yourself a title. Dave's given himself the title Soundtrack Connoisseur. Love that. And
Or is it Dave Loring?
Loring. What did I say? Loring?
Loring.
Oh, sorry, Dave.
Just because it rhymes with boring, and that's his little his explanation.
I know how to say his name, and I said it wrong anyway. Sorry, Dave.
No, that's fine. Because that's one of those ones that, like Sophie Shooter,
Yes.
where I overthink it and I go back to the wrong pronunciation
Shooter.
again. Yeah. Sorry. Dave says.
It's good to just have a little spiral.
I'm panicking.
Dave has given us a suggestion, writing, "Hey pals, I'm a big fan of Italian horror movies from the 70s and 80s. And while I know that horror movies aren't everyone's cup of tea, I do think everyone should check out the soundtracks from time to time. Lots of interesting experimentation with synths and prog rock. Of particular note are the theme songs to many of Dario Argento's movies. The main theme of Tenebrae is a jaunty tune suitable for all sorts of purposes: gym, housework, long drives, as well as the theme from Phenomena, which starts off very dramatic and operatic, but then becomes a campy, frenzied delight. And while it's not an Argento film, also worth pointing out that for a movie as controversial and nastily named as Cannibal Holocaust, the theme music is spectacularly gentle and calming.
No way.
Is it a niche interest? Sure. But where in the rule books does it say these suggestions have to have broad appeal? Very true. Dave, I didn't know this about you, and I love it. That is a niche interest. Imagine having that in your dating profile. Of like, because Dave is he's an incredibly strong man.
Oh, yes.
Does a lot of working out. Confident he could just lift me up.
I think he lift you up on one arm and me up on the other.
Easily.
Probably do Matt on his head.
I love that he's also really into the soundtrack of Italian horror movies from the 70s and 80s. That rules.
I love that. I've looked up Cannibal Holocaust and it just says in brackets main theme. Like, there's no
Wow.
way. I would never have thought that could be a lovely
No way.
piece of music to fall asleep to.
What a fantastic suggestion. Thank you, Dave.
I'll look it up.
Next up, another person we've had the pleasure of meeting, Paul Meller.
Oh, Paul Meller.
And
Paul.
Paul's given himself the title A Very Good Boy Last Christmas,
Hey,
which I think is nice.
that's good.
And instead of a suggestion, a fact, a quote, a brag, he's given us a missed fact, quote, a question, answer, and a little follow-up.
Okay.
Exciting.
This is the first one of
Interesting.
these.
Says, "Hi guys, so at the live Krishmish leads fact, quote, or question show, you read out my question. I asked you if you'd been good boys and girls and what you wanted Father Christmas to bring you this year. I committed a cardinal sin and did not answer my own question. Thank you. We do
Yep.
always like people to answer the question if they ask us a question. I did message afterwards and I answered, yes, I believe I have been a good boy and would like Father Christmas to bring me an Oldham athletic promotion in 2025, please. Either that or some nice Christmas beers. Well, guess what? Not only did I get the beers, but my beloved Oldham Athletic have just been promoted at Wembley Stadium in the first promotion final we have seen in 35 years.
Oh, well done.
I was there to witness this with 21,000 Oldham fans and it was magnificent. We had with us 3 generations of Mellors and I was in tears at the final whistle. It was the end of 35 years of decline. We are back in the Football League. Matt, I will ask for a Saints flag next year. Yeah, you're good luck, Paul. Hope you all got what you wanted for Christmas. Maybe Matt will get world peace soon, hopefully. All the best, a very happy little boy from Oldham. P.S. Apologies and commiserations to any Southern United fans. Your team did you proud and Oldham play you when you are eventually promoted too. Paul, you are a class act.
Yeah, that's really lovely.
I don't remember what I said I wanted for Christmas. I'm going to guess you probably said a dash cam.
I was thinking, I'm sure I said a dash cam. And Paul, did I get a dash cam? No. I keep being ignored by my friends and family, even though I say, I'm serious. I really would like a dash cam.
Well, we have birthdays coming up.
It's actually been discussed in my household. And I've actually said, it's not a joke.
I am serious. Please get me a
In the
dash
last couple
cam.
of years, 2 people have driven into me and I had to get them to pay for the damage, and it would have been a lot easier if I'd had the dash cam footage,
Yeah.
including one where I was parked at the traffic lights and the car
That's a
behind me.
silly place to park,
I'm
Dave.
not parked there. But I do have my foot on the brake. I'm waiting and the car behind me decides to go around, but there wasn't enough room, so they just scraped into the back right corner with their front left. And it went... and then they just sped away.
Why the fuck did they decide to go around?
I think they were like, they didn't want to turn anymore. They wanted to go straight. So they just fully swiped me, sped off I wrote down their number plate.
Nice.
And thankfully, this does have a happy ending because I went to the police station and they called the person and said, were you in an accident this morning? They said, no, I don't think so. And then the cop said, can you check your car for damage? And they like fully hammed it up and apparently said, oh my goodness, there is damage at the front of my car. I didn't even notice.
Shut up.
It was so loud. There's no way. They just panicked. So anyway, they gave up their insurance details. But if they hadn't have done that, I would have needed the dash cam footage to prove who they were. So in summary, Santa, I've been a good little boy. Can I please have a dash cam for Christmas?
So funny.
I know. I keep getting ignored.
I'm going to have to... Do you want me to have a word with your wife?
I think that might be needed.
That's really good. Thank you, Paul. Okay, next up, finally, for Fact Quote Question this week, it's Jocelyn Kravitz.
Hello, Jocelyn Kravitz.
Jocelyn's given themselves a title, President of the My Parents Are Better Than Your Parents Society.
Oh, my gosh.
And honestly, I probably believe that to be true.
You can see it instantly.
I go, yeah, fair enough. Mine are fine.
I mean, if you've got the confidence to say it, you've probably got some good ones.
Like, imagine if your parents are like Michelle and Barack Obama.
Yeah.
You could probably be like, my parents are better than yours. Yeah. And I'd be like, fair enough.
Yeah, they are.
No one's heard of John and Annie Perkins. Anyway, so this is a fact, apparently. Fact, my parents were the best parents, not just to me, but to everyone, and I have the evidence to prove it. Evidence number 1, for the annual family Hanukkah party.
So defensive alone.
So good. For the annual family Hanukkah party, in addition to buying every cousin a gift from their list, my mum bought extra presents in case any extra kids showed up.
Oh, that's
They wouldn't
lovely.
be left out. That's very thoughtful. Number 2, my aunt died when my cousins were seniors in college and high school. When the older one got engaged, my parents drove him and his fiancée all over Long Island to look at wedding venues. They made sure the younger one finished high school. He ended up getting a GED but was allowed to go to graduation, and took him to college. Number 3, in college, when I had an emergency oral surgery, my mum stayed in my dorm room to take care of me for 3 days. That's very nice. Oh, there's more. Number 4, they went to my high school friend's college graduation to give his mum a ride and make sure she behaved. Number 5, when I was in my 30s and couldn't drive because I sprained my ankle, my dad came down and drove me to work an hour each way every day for a week.
Wow.
That's so nice. Number 6, I was recently talking to a couple of my cousins about my parents, and one cousin who grew up in California said, my first parents' weekend at college, they drove up to Rhode Island and took me to the mall to buy a winter coat. The other added, Aunt Elaine came to Florida for my PhD graduation, but Uncle Ira couldn't come, so he FaceTimed in and cried through the whole thing.
Oh.
That is so nice. There are hundreds more similar stories, but I think I've proved my point. That is so lovely.
I love you taking the time to dedicate this to your parents. That's so nice. They sound like really...
They sound like lovely
great people, great family members. Is there any openings in the household?
Yeah.
Any adoptions?
It sounds like they'd be the type that would just take us in.
I think so.
You
Even
know, like,
at 35.
Yeah, and I've got parents.
Yeah.
And a sibling and mother-in-law, and, you know, I'm okay. I've got fucking a million aunties and uncles and cousins, but could I join?
How about this? I've got Southern Hemisphere parents.
Ooh.
But I don't have any parents in the Northern Hemisphere.
Me either. Fantastic call.
Just saying.
That's really nice, and I really like, Jocelyn, that you were maybe just feeling grateful and sentimental and thought, I'm just going to use this fact quarter question to have a brag about my fantastic parents.
Yes, and I would like to say, if your parents don't hear this, and I'm sure you probably have the relationship where you tell them how much you love them, but you got to acknowledge how much you appreciate this stuff.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I really hope you say this to them as well, because it's
if you're
really
playing
nice.
this to your parents, hello parents, we are Dave and Jess. We are your new Australian kids. And we're very well behaved. Dave is toilet trained, but he does have whoopsies.
Yeah, like 95% there.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm getting there.
Pretty good. We can both drive.
Yeah, that's right. But, you know, if you want to drive me to work,
that's fine.
That'd be nice.
I'm okay with that. And I really like gingerbread, if you want to make something.
Oh, yum.
That's very nice. Thank you to Jocelyn, Paul, and Dave for your wonderful suggestions, missed fact quote question answers, and facts.
Facts about how good your parents are. I
So
love it.
nice. A fact. What's the next thing we need to do, Dave?
We like to shout out people that have been supporting the show. They've signed up more recently over recent months, and we like to give them a little shout out, little nickname that often comes from the episode. Jess is the queen of coming up with ideas here.
Mm-hmm.
We put that on you so we don't have to do it, but you're very good at it.
Well, I was thinking like scandal,
Oh, okay.
but then I thought and the wording was pretty funny in my head. I was like, what have they faked? I guess same. So okay, because what was the? She didn't do anything scandalous.
No.
So what have they been accused of? But that could go.
That could go. What about like she was accused of looking like someone with goggles on? What have they been seen wearing?
Yes.
Where they've been mistaken for someone else?
Yes. Great. Okay, let's do that.
So some sort of weird item of clothing or an accessory.
Perfect. Yep. Let's do it.
Okay, we'll just go one for one.
I reckon.
All right, I would like to thank, first of all, from Forest Hill in Maryland in the United States. Hello and thank you to Ellie Longstreet.
You know those like 1920s men's swimsuits that were like shorts and a singlet all
sort
in
of
one?
stripy.
Yeah. That.
Ellie was wearing those and someone mistook her for someone else.
Yeah, someone mistook her for a circus strongman from the 1920s.
And they're not budging. No, I saw you.
I saw it.
I saw you in the circus last week.
And Ali's like, no.
No, I just wear these swimmers sometimes.
These are they're comfy.
A bit of fun.
They've been in my family a long time. They're vintage. Next up from New Ulm in
Ulm?
Minnesota. No, MN.
I think that's Minnesota. Let's look it up because the M's are confusing for us because it could be Montana as well. It is Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Or Missouri. No.
Missouri.
And who is it from New Ulm?
It is April-eyed.
April-eyed. April-eyed was mistaken for someone when they were wearing a university cap and gown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
At a graduation, someone was like, that's April.
That's April. And April's like, I didn't even go to university.
Yeah, they're like, April, I saw you last week at your graduation. April's like, no, that wasn't me. No, it was. I saw you. You were wearing the cap and the gown. I was sitting at the very back of the auditorium, but it was you.
It was you. I mean, you changed your hair in the last week. You went blonde, and now you're back to brunette. That was very clever of you.
I yelled out, hello, April, and you didn't wave at me. I thought I've been very mad at you all week, actually.
4,000 people in the room, but also in the back row.
I think I'd know.
Good on you, April.
Good on ya.
I would like to thank from a location that has not been provided to us, so we can only assume they are deep within the Fortress of the Moles. Hello and thank you to Kylie Fox.
Funnily enough, Kylie Fox, a neighbour saw a person walking down the street wearing a fox hat and thought, well, that's a bit full on.
Well, I only know someone who wears a fox hat. It must be
it's Kylie.
Kylie Fox.
Yeah, they said, hey, Kylie, what's with the hat? And the person didn't turn around. And they thought, geez, Kylie's been a bit rude today. And again, they were mad at Kylie.
I was like, no, it's not me.
I'm not wearing a fox hat. That's silly. Why would I do that? Next up from Gosport in Hampshire in Great Britain, it's Jules.
Jules was, this was a bit of swimming in this episode. Jules was, someone was seen wearing a full scuba diving outfit.
Oh, yeah.
Which obviously obscures your face quite a lot.
A lot.
And someone was like, Jules, you didn't tell me that you're at the Great Barrier Reef last week. You've come all the way from Great Britain and you didn't even say hi to your long-lost uncle who lives in Port Douglas. And Jules had to be like, Uncle, that wasn't me. I'm in England.
You came all the way to Port Douglas. You didn't even say hi to me?
What the hell? You just went out. You thought you could just get away with a quick scuba dive? Well, I saw you. I saw you on the beach being pulled up on that boat. You came in. You were in the full outfit.
And I said, Jules,
it's
me. Your uncle.
It's Uncle Kev. And you didn't even wave. You just stared at me.
I understand if you'd come all the way to Australia, but you go to Melbourne. That's far away. I understand.
A long way. That's thousands of kilometres.
You come all the way to Port Douglas, mate. You're on my local beach. Not even hello for your Uncle Kev.
Just a little wave. That's all I ask.
That's really
Sorry,
funny.
Jules.
That's really funny. Okay, your turn.
Next up from another location unknown to us, but thank you to Catherine Crompton.
Oh, Catherine Crompton.
I like it. KC
was mistaken for a person who was seen wearing a bucket hat and Groucho Marx glasses.
People are, all right, KC, you are obviously having a bit of fun, but you could have still said hi.
Okay. Passing is, I think I'd still know you.
I know it's you in a bucket hat and Groucho Marx glasses with a mustache. I know everything.
The big nose and the mustache.
You can't get away with it.
It doesn't change your very distinct gait. I love that that detail in the story of like she walked with a different gait. I think there's many people that I'd be like, I recognise the way you move.
I reckon you recognise the way I move. Yeah.
So I could tell it's you coming up the stairs when I'm in this office.
I've got a very bouncy walk.
Yes.
Very bouncy. And I've been told that my whole life by a lot of people. My friend Rowan in high school said I have a jolly walk.
You do. I mean it as a compliment.
And I never realised how funny it could be until I was walking behind someone who had such a bouncy walk. This is only last week. That they had sort of it was a man with combed over hair. And every time he walked, a little bit of a tuft went poof, just like poof, like off his head. That's how much force he was bouncing with. And I came home, I told my wife that, and she goes, "That's how you walk." Yeah.
That'll be you if you ever require a comb over. It's very fun.
I'm hanging on for now. Who are we up to? You thinking?
Oh, me thinking.
That's right. That was KC.
Yes. Next up, again from Fortress of the Moles, Jake Swin.
Jake Swin.
Swin's a fun name.
That's a fun name, isn't it? Jake Swin was wearing someone was seen wearing at a fancy dress party. They were wearing a costume of the Riddler.
Oh yeah,
from Batman.
Yep.
The Jim Carrey version from the 90s. And someone was furious that Jake,
great costume, mate.
Great costume. I'm dressed as the Joker. We should do a photo together. And then the person did the photo but never acknowledged that they were Jake. And they were like, are you so deep in the character? And they said, no, I'm Tristan. And he's like, this is weird for you to dress as the Riddler and then pretend to be Tristan. I know it's you, Jake. I know it was you. Look, I've got the photo, the selfie we did together. That's me as the Joker.
And there's you.
Huh?
What do you have to say for that,
Riddle
Jake?
me that, Jake.
I like these. All of the people are so upset.
They're really annoyed that they've been blamed.
They're like, so rude.
Honestly, a smile costs you nothing, Jake.
I thought we were friends, but they're always someone that's like a long lost uncle or like an acquaintance, and they're so upset.
Sending a Facebook message. All right, Jake, I know it was you. I know you're not Tristan.
Just losing their minds. All right, your turn.
I'd like to thank from Goulburn in New South Wales. Hello and thank you to it's Kate.
Kate.
Kate. Let's just say your email. There's two words. One starts with an L, one starts with an R.
Yeah.
Just so you know that this is you, your moment. We want you to know.
How many Kates could there be in Goulburn?
I forgot that Kate had given their location. I thought we were doing it for a second. I thought everything was blank except Kate. But yes, Kate from Goulburn. Thank you so much, Kate.
There's bound to be more than one Kate. Kate's quite a common name.
That's true. But that have signed up in the last few months to our Patreon, maybe.
True.
Not.
Do you think? I often think if I have to come up with a fake name for myself, I go with Kate. I think I look like a Kate.
I reckon you're a Kate, yeah.
Yeah, easy. And my friend Kate could be a Jess, I reckon.
Yes, you two could swap names.
Absolutely.
What could my one be?
Dave. Steve.
Steve?
You could be a Steve. You could be a Jack.
Oh, yeah, I could for Jack. Sort of those one-syllable names. James.
Yeah, maybe.
No, you didn't. That didn't seem to be. I was thinking this was my middle name, that maybe it's easier for me.
Yeah. But I don't think I'm an Annie, you know?
Yeah,
my middle name's Anne.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe.
So
anyway.
Maybe, all right, I'm a Steve or a Jack.
Sorry, Kate. We got distracted immediately. Kate was seen... Was this me?
Yeah. What was Kate seen with?
Well, Kate was...
Well, someone was seen...
Well, that's right. Kate was mistaken for somebody who was dressed as Dolly Parton. At a Dolly Parton impersonator contest.
Someone stood up and said,
"Hey, Kate."
That's Kate.
Yeah. And it's crazy, actually, because, yes, again, they were very upset that Kate blanked them. But the thing is, it was actually Dolly Parton.
Oh, my gosh. How embarrassing.
So embarrassing. And you're like, that's my friend Kate. And then Dolly came third at her own lookalike contest. So embarrassing.
Sorry, Kate.
Sorry, Kate.
But great to hear that you look like a superstar.
Amazing. What an honour.
What a real honour.
What an honour. Next up, from Frankston South in Victoria, Colin Denman Jones.
Colin was seen wearing one of those paper hats that in Australia we get in Christmas crackers at Christmas time.
Those little paper crowns.
Little paper crowns.
Love that.
I'm just not sure if they get them. I feel like we've had confusion in the past about this, but
because we call them bonbons as well.
Bonbons, also Christmas crackers. Yeah,
crackers.
You get a little paper crown in there, and they're always a different color. And then you get the whole family to put them on for a photo, and someone always refuses to put it on.
You know why? Because my head's too big for them. They don't fit on my big Irish head.
On the big bonts. But someone was seen wearing a yellow one, and someone was furious because they thought Colin was at their Christmas, and they blanked them at Christmas. Colin, Colin, read the riddle from the Christmas bonbon. And they said, I'm not Colin. I'm Phil.
I'm your Uncle Phil.
And they're like, no, Colin, I know you. I know you, Colin. We went to school together. Again, lying like that person in the episode. Cole, over here. Cole.
And this just happened when the hat went on.
Because before that, they were like, that person looks kind of familiar, but I don't know. Maybe I guess they just have one of those faces. Hat goes on. That's Colin. Colin. Pass the mashed potatoes. Colin.
Really ruining Christmas for a lot
really
of
ruined
people.
everyone. And then Colin was like, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
I was on holidays.
I was at my own family Christmas. I'm not related to you.
I was at my own family Christmas in Port Douglas.
My Uncle Kev. He's a great guy.
On you, Colin. And finally, I would like to thank from Chicago, the Windy City, as we often say here, from Illinois. Thank you to Ivan or Ivan.
It's perfect time for me to yawn. Ivan was actually seen, it was another fancy dress, seen dressed up as Dracula.
And someone was like, Ivan.
Ivan.
And then I said, okay, you can stay in character in front of the kids, but please just acknowledge me.
Yeah, your primary school friend.
Yeah, your long lost friend.
I haven't seen you in 20 years. Ivan.
But I'd recognise those teeth anyway. Those are real teeth. You always had those vampire teeth. Ivan. Acknowledge me.
And again, sent a Facebook message, and Ivan said, I haven't seen you in 25 years.
Dear Ivan, thanks for blank.
Dear Ivan, thanks for nothing. Thanks for nothing is a funny thing to say, I think. Oh, thanks for nothing. So thank you to Ivan, Colin, Kate, Jake, Catherine, Jules, Kylie, April, and Ali. What an absolute bunch of legends. The final thing we need to do before we get on out of here, we skedaddle, and I do the speech my husband's never heard, is to welcome some people into the Triptych Club. Now, these are people who have supported us on patreon.com for 3 consecutive years. They're welcomed into an exclusive club. I like to think about it like an airport lounge still. I think what I picture to surround the Triptych Club is just like a runway. But Dave,
I think we've got airport facilities. Got to get people in and out.
True. Well, once they're in, they can't leave. But why would they want to? We have everything they possibly need. We've got multiple air hockey tables. We've got Dave books bands. I'm behind the bar. We've got a full kitchen. You've got everything you possibly need. There's little sleep pods if you want to go have a kip.
Exactly. Because once you're in, you can never leave when you induct you. But why would you want to leave?
I literally just said that.
Sorry, I was checking my email to confirm the musical artist that I've booked in.
I love working with men. They cannot multitask or listen.
I cannot. I was like, I can't believe she's missed that bit.
I did that bit verbatim.
I better say it. I do apologise.
I better say it. She's probably bleeding menstrually.
I genuinely cannot multitask. I was like, email.
And I was trying to pad because I knew you were trying to.
I know you. I could see you looked over, and I was like, God, I've really zoned out. For a second.
Okay,
I just want to reiterate: once you're in, you can never leave. We need to put that on. Honestly, it should be part of the terms and conditions because, honestly, we can't have you coming in and leaving.
Should we put on a hat? That's pretty funny.
Everyone, while you're waiting in the line before the velvet rope, we hand you a hat. Have a read of that, and if you consent, put it on. Yeah, that's how you sign for us.
I like that.
And then you run in with a hat.
Never really got hats on. That's cute. You're in a uniform. It's a cult. So this woman's name was Aimee Semple McPherson. I've taken that. Instead of Shirley Temples, I'm making Shirley Semples.
That's some of your best work yet. Can I check on the temperature of the Shirley Semples?
Oh, they are scalding hot, yes.
As intended.
As God told me in a dream. So we've got really, really hot Shirley Temples. Matt is usually the one lifting the rope. I'll do that this week. Dave hypes them up. But yeah, Dave, you've checked your emails now.
Oh my gosh, you never get to believe who just confirmed. You never believe who just confirmed, considering that you just said the name of the person that's about McPherson.
Yeah.
Well, performing live in the club this week, we've got J.D. McPherson, American singer and songwriter known for a retro sound rooted in the rock and roll, rockabilly, and rhythm and blues music of the 1950s.
J.D. McPherson.
J.D. McPherson.
I'm familiar with their work.
Oh, really? You love Lucky Penny?
No, that's not my favourite.
What's your favourite?
Probably their second most popular one.
Oh, that would be Northside Gal.
Yes, Northside Gal. That's my fave.
I'm really hanging out for crying's just a thing you do.
That's so true.
All caps.
That's so true. I do cry.
That's the thing you do.
Sometimes.
But he's had 400,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, so he's doing pretty well. JD McPherson will be taking the stage, and we appreciate him confirming tonight.
Huge. Well, Dave, we have 3 inductees into the Triptych Club this week. I'll read the names out and where they're from. You'll hype them up. I'll hype you up. There'll be none of this Matt Stewart negativity, and we'll be able to just have a nice day.
Thank you. This is just lovely. I'm going to go get some lunch after this, everyone.
Oh, cute. Okay, first up, here we go. From Singleton, New South Wales, it's Melissa LP.
LP, that stands for Let's Play.
Woo! From West Beach in South Australia, it's Aidan Malloy.
Oi Palloy, it's Aidan Malloy.
Oi Palloy. And from Boston, Massachusetts, it's Caleb Plummer.
Did someone call an electrician? No, I called a plumber. Caleb Plummer. Woo!
That was good stuff. Welcome
Thank
in.
you.
Caleb, Aidan, Melissa. Hey, kick off your shoes if you want, if they don't stink, and get comfy, chuck on your hat, come to the bar, get a scalding hot Shirley Temple as the Lord intended.
Absolutely.
And get yourself ready for JD McPherson taking the stage.
Wow. Northside gal. I've requested he opens with it and closes.
Look, thank you so much for listening. And if you've listened all this way, you're better than my spouse.
Wow.
That says a lot.
If you've listened at all, you're better than my spouse. So thank you.
We're very supported and loved. And if you would like to suggest a topic, you can. Anybody can. You don't have to be a Patreon. There's a link in the show notes, and it's also on our website, which is dogoonpod.com, where you can also find information about our other podcasts that we do. We've got a little network going.
That's right. If you want a quiz, Who Knew It with Matt Stewart? If you want to watch a movie or think about a movie with primates and popular culture, you got Primates.
That's right.
If you want to hear about a classic book and you can't be bothered actually reading it, you got Book Cheat.
Okay, we've got you covered on 3 things.
Basically, I mean, that's everything.
And we do we do a very broad range of topics. So really, we've got you covered for like general knowledge, make you more interesting at a dinner party. That's our vibe.
That's the aim.
That you can follow us on social media, dogoonpod.com. Sorry, that's our website. At dogoonpod is social media. Dogoon Podcast on TikTok. And Dave, boot this baby home.
I've actually joined TikTok recently. I'm embarrassed to say.
I know. I followed you.
Thank you so much.
After you followed me.
I followed you. Can I just say, one of your TikToks, it does include you with goggles on.
Yeah.
And I thought, McPherson?
Yeah, I thought, oh my God.
Aimee McPherson?
Aimee McPherson, that missing woman. The thing that's so great about TikTok and social media in general is that people will follow you because you're a comedian and then forget you're a comedian and then explain the jokes that you're making to you. So some people in the comments of that were like, this was really funny when it cut to you wearing goggles.
That's so good.
And I'm
Because
like,
that was
the
my favourite
joke.
bit too.
That was the joke.
That was really funny. Did you know that? I'm just, at the moment, just posting clips from my stand-up special that you can watch the whole thing on YouTube. But
Yes.
I realised you need 1,000 followers before you're allowed to put a link on TikTok. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So I was like, I'll just link to my special because that's all I want, is to direct people to watch my stand-up show. So if you want to follow me on there, get me to 1,000 so I can have a link. That would be very kind.
I don't even know if I have. I have 2,000.
Yes, Jess, you're killing it.
Wow.
You're crushing you and your goggles.
It's good stuff.
That's good stuff. So anyway, we'll be back next week with another episode of The Great Man Matt Stewart. We'll be back to join us. But until then, thank you so much for listening. And as we always say here, goodbye.
Bye.
Don't forget to sign up to our tour mailing list so we know where in the world you are and we can come and tell you when we're coming there.
Wherever we go, we always hear 6 months later, oh, you should come to Manchester. We were just in Manchester.
We're just there, but this way you'll never miss out. And don't forget to sign up, go to our Instagram, click our link tree. Very, very easy.
It means we know to come to you, and you'll also know that we're coming to you.
Yeah, we'll come to you, you come to us. Very good.
And we give you a spam-free guarantee.